question has followed me throughout my entire career. Why do smart, loving families end up making life-changing decisions in crisis mode? After 26 years helping families navigate aging, I don't believe it's because they don't care. In fact, I believe the exact opposite. Most families care deeply. Let me give you a few examples. Imagine a family I know and have seen at various activities dozens of times over the years. Dad is 84 years old, and he is still living at home. At this point in the story, he is still driving. He's still mowing his lawn. He loves to do it. His family checks in regularly, and when I ask, everyone says the same thing. Dad's doing just great. Every now and then, someone brings up the future. Maybe they should talk about driving. Maybe they should discuss what Dad wants if his health changes. Maybe they should make sure legal and financial documents are in order. I confirm that yes, they should all sit down as a family and talk about these things. And I even offer to participate and orchestrate the conversation with them. But the conversation never happens. Why? Because everything seems so fine. Then one evening, their dad falls. He breaks his hip, and after surgery, the hospital says he can't come home alone. They are all in shock. Suddenly, the family is trying to figure out who will help him. Can he afford care? Should he move? Does he have long-term care insurance? What legal documents exist? What are his wishes? Questions that could have been answered years earlier are now being answered in a matter of minutes and days. As a family, they may no longer have the luxury of making decisions from a place of choice. Instead, they are forced to make decisions under pressure, often with limited options, leaving Dad in circumstances he may never have chosen had planning occurred earlier. This family isn't failing. They simply told themselves they had more time. Here's another example, something I have seen many times over the years. A daughter begins helping her mother after a minor health issue. At first, it's simple. She picks up groceries for Mom, drives her to appointments, and helps her with a little bit of her paperwork. She doesn't see these things as being anything major, and so she is thinking, I can handle this. And so she does. And for a while, but little by little, the responsibilities grow. So slightly at first, that she really isn't noticing it, that things are changing. And then all of a sudden, she's coordinating medications, managing appointments, handling finances, and checking in on her mother every single day. She is doing all of this while balancing work, trying to take care of her own family, and trying her very best to hold everything, all of these things together. Months turn into years. She becomes exhausted, overwhelmed, stressed, not because she doesn't love her mother. It's because she is trying to do everything by herself, all alone. Then one day she reaches her breaking point and she tells everyone, I just can't go on. Now everyone in the family is scrambling to find help. But what if they had known about resources earlier? What if they had built a support team before the crisis? What if they had planned before her burnout occurred? Things could have been so much easier for this family. The problem wasn't their lack of love. The problem was a lack of preparation, planning, and support. Maybe you've seen something similar. Everything seemed fine until it wasn't. A fall, an emergency room visit, a diagnosis, a caregiver who simply couldn't do it anymore. Then suddenly everyone is scrambling. So why does this happen? Over the years, I've come to believe there are 4 reasons this happens. First, people fear aging. Most people don't want to talk about it. Second, people think they have more time. Mom is fine, Dad still drives, we'll deal with it later. Third, people don't know what they don't know about aging. Most families have never navigated aging before. There is no roadmap, at least not that most people know about. And fourth, this system is reactive. Most services activate after the crisis, not before. And this is why so many families end up overwhelmed. Not because they are bad families, not because they don't care. In fact, most families care deeply. The problem is that they are trying to navigate aging inside a system that is designed to react after the crisis instead of helping them prepare before one happens. Families aren't failing. The system is reactive. But the good news is, this can change. The earlier we begin preparing, the more choices we preserve, the more dignity we protect, the more independence we support, and the better quality of life we can create for ourselves and the people we care for and love. From 1 to 100, we are all aging, and every one of us benefits when we prepare before the crisis instead of after it. Because aging is not the problem, lack of preparation is.